Hey, welcome back to Live Kind Today. Thanks for joining me this week to share some good vibes in your corner of the world. I've given quite a few talks over the years around finding your superpower. It's been at conferences and professional development events, as well as women's empowerment networks. But no matter where I am or what the context is, we have to start with the most important fact first. That Marvel and DC franchises do not have a corner on superpowers. And I'm here to help you find your superpower. Live Kind Today is all about making someone in your world feel cared for, seen, valued, worthy, loved, and just plain good. Now don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified so that you'll find out anytime new tips for good vibes drop. Finding your superpower has the ability to change and influence your life, your profession, your mission, and simply how you go out into the world. Now, the powers that shape our passions, our desires, and our self-image aren't something that we often spend a whole lot of time thinking about. But when we do, we have the opportunity to connect with ourselves, learn and share our value, as well as understand why we are unique, and that you being you makes a difference in the world. When we tap into understanding our unique superpower, we can then take a look at how each of us can impact the world for good. And by that, I mean your world. I'm not trying to make you into the next Mother Teresa or have you dedicate your life to renewable energies, or even that you would be the next leader of the most amazing organization on the planet. All of those things would be super cool, but really what I want to do is help you unearth what's important to you and what supports your values. It can impact your professional path, your influence on others, your ability to create new things, your abilities to support others, your ability to chase your passions and desires. The possibilities are completely endless because it's all about you. Okay, so if we're all feeling warm and fuzzy now and we have a little electricity running through our fingertips, let's get to it. Your superpower or superpowers are often born out of the strengths that we find professionally and personally. This is a process of discovery, so really set aside some time so that you can dig in. You can start from anywhere. Are you great at problem solving, at organizing, at communicating, at being creative? Do you empathize deeply and connect with others? Whatever it might be, start to think about the attributes that energize you, motivate you, make you feel fulfilled. And we're going to take a moment to do an exercise together that's going to help focus your mind on those things. It'll be really helpful to have a pen and paper for this exercise, so if you need to, hit the pause button real quick, go get some, and come on right back. Oftentimes, it's people around us that notice our skills and our talents long before we do. Think about what your family members, your colleagues, or your friends have said to you before, that things seem to come easy to you, or that you're really great at something, or something that they always turn to you for because you've got unique insight or clarity on that. Start to write down all of the things that come to your mind, and don't stop until you've exhausted that list and written down everything that your mind has to offer. What are your core values? Think about the things that help you make your decisions, the things that you hold most dear, that you protect over everything. These are some ideas that'll help you start thinking around what your core values are. And as they come to you, write them all down. What brings you joy, fulfillment, satisfaction? Think about an experience, anything from the projects that you've done, that you had a passion for, a hobby that gives you peace or excitement and draws you into investing time in it, an act action or an activity that gives you fulfillment? What qualities do you notice about each of them? Jot them down one at a time as you consider each experience and take a moment to notice what's similar or connected about each of them. I hope you're inspired and really psyched as you begin to notice what you're gifted in, what you're drawn to, and what drives you. Superheroes don't just have powers and abilities, they have power, responsibility, and a mission. And so do you. Let's draw 3 circles. They'll be your super circles, and divide them into 4 quadrants. Now we're going to go ahead and populate these circles. Think about the first list that you worked on where you wrote down qualities and attributes and skills that people in your life have told you that you're really amazing at, that you find ease and great ability with. Take a look at them and highlight the 4 top ones, the ones that you agree with most strongly, and use those as your 4 priorities for the first circle and populate 1 in each of your 4 quadrants. Now, for each of these 4 attributes that you've chosen to prioritize, I want you to evaluate them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the best, on your level of confidence in each one of them. Assign a number from 1 to 10 to each one, whether it's 7 or 8 or 6. Go ahead and jot that number down next to each one, and then draw a line across the piece of the pie where you think a 5 might be or a 7 might be that correlates with how you rated it. And go ahead and color in that piece of the pie. This visualization tool will actually really help us a lot at the end of the exercise when we're looking at all 3 circles next to each other. Let's move to circle number 2. Here, we want to go ahead and look at the core values that you began to write down during your exploration. Take a look at them and again, prioritize what you feel the top 4 core values are and populate them into your second circle. Here again, I'd love for you to scale them on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the inside of your circle and 10 being the outside of your circle, of the level of passion that you have around each one of those priority values. And last but not least, circle number 3, your mission wheel. This is where you want to take a look at the list of things that you made that bring you joy and fulfillment and a sense of achievement. Take a look at that list, prioritize the top 4, and populate your third wheel with those 4 items. Go ahead and rate each one of these items on a scale of 1 to 10 of the level of fulfillment that each one brings to you. And go ahead and fill in your circle. Okay. Whew. The hardest part is done. Almost. We're almost there. Hang with me. Now step back and take a moment to look at your 3 super wheels. What do you notice? What stands out? What threads do you see beginning to build between them? Consider what you notice, think about it, and when you're ready, begin to craft a statement or a sentence that begins to put together what your superpower is. Now, don't put pressure on yourself that you can do it all in one sitting. A lot of times you'll rethink it and rejig it, but this should give you the components to really get you started and focused on understanding what you bring to the table for your superpower is. I want you to remember that your superpower is genuinely unique to you. Now that you know, what are you going to do with it? If you want to know what to do with your superpower, tune in next time when we talk about it. If you found some value from this today, hit the like button and share this with somebody that you think would love to discover what their superpower is. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Now, supers, go out and live kind today. What superhero would I be? That's actually one of the coolest job interview questions I had ever been asked. And I've had the same answer since I was a little kid. I love the Wonder Twins. Now, I know that's an oldie-timey type of a superhero, but it's one that's always resonated with me. And of course, I didn't really realize it when I was a kid, but now I know my favorite thing about it is that together, they were able to do absolutely anything. They weren't limited by what their power or ability was, as long as they were doing it together. And me? I'm a together kind of a gal.